Coming up next, we have another panel, ladies and gentlemen, titled From Offline to Online Successfully Transferring Your Brand Identity. Put your hands together in a massive round of applause for our session's moderator, Sunny Goel, founder and CEO of Aquaria Creative Studio. Put your hands together, everyone. Joining unfortunately, she couldn't make it today. Her daughter is not feeling well, but Lalian Al Masri, Chief Marketing Officer of Funding Pips. Joining him on stage will be Mian Muhammad Fahid, the Senior Marketing Executive at Shirawi Enterprises. And last but not least, Vivek Nigam, the Vice President and Marketing President of Desert Cart. I hope you enjoy this upcoming session, and take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. You are staying too late because everyone is, the room is filled in the first day, but we have a limited number of people around here for the discussions. So it's been success. Yeah. Yeah. Successfully transferring brand identity from offline to online. So when we are talking about this topic, it's been close to my heart because I'm doing it a lot of things in the same venue, especially considering the stakeholders and customers mental block. And so virtual world is been transforming a lot in last over a decade. So everybody wants to be get online, and people thinks that transforming to the online has been like rebranding yourself, but that's not true. uh, and transforming to the virtual world has been like dealing with the mass level of the customers. You don't know where and from what kind of quantity they are coming around. So I'm coming to the my first question here. So what are the best approaches to plan your move?
First, I will introduce myself. My name is Fahad, and I was working with Al Sharawi Group as a senior marketing executive. And last week, I changed my job, and now I'm in Meta Group as a marketing manager. So that's why I want to introduce myself. And regarding this topic from offline to online, for me, if you are going to do an online conversion, first thing is you have to do with a strategic approach. First thing, you have to make a strategy how you are going to shift, because in offline also you want to make a strategy whenever you're going to do a marketing. Same like that, you have to do same thing in online. You have to make your plan like short term, mid term, and long term plan.
So talking about the short-term plan, it has been quick to create a online accounts in every of the channel like Facebook, in within 2 hours, making a WordPress website, creating account in Facebook, Instagram, and all other channel, TikToks.
No, it doesn't mean that if you have to do a plan short term that immediately you do with all the social media channels. No, you have to see your customer, you have to do your competitor analysis, you have to do your customer analysis, which channels they are using and which channel is beneficial for your business. Like if you are into a B2B business, then TikTok is not for you maybe. And if you are in like a consumer goods business, then TikTok, Instagram, you can focus on that. But for a B2B business, LinkedIn is the best platform.
So what about the Google?
Google, if you start with the website and do with the SEO, yes, you have to rank your website according to the keywords which are related to your industry. And you have to start with Google Ads in the starting because SEO will take time. SEO is a long-term process. It will not do like within 1 or 2 months. People, they have a wrong conception that SEO will give you a result within 1 month or 2 months because clients, they are asking about, okay, if you will start SEO today, how long it will take me to the first page of the Google. So this is a wrong conception. So
No, first page of the Google, you are talking about the SEO. So SEO has been different kind of, like you have a Bing out there, you have been different search engines working geographically. The Google is not available everywhere in the world, and Bing is also there, and there are a lot of search engines. Uh, so, what kind of things, how you can plan with that SEO? Okay, which platform I have to choose to move my business and customer engagement online?
As I said earlier, first thing is you have to do your customer analysis, your competitor analysis, which platform they are available in, and which platform your customers are using. If your customers are using Google, yes, you have to go to the Google. And if they are available, like if it's on Bing, on another search engine, you have to focus on that as well.
You want to add something, Vivek?
Yes, thanks a lot, Sunny. To start with, guys, I'm Vivek. I represent Desert Cart in marketing. A pretty interesting topic here. I understand all of you have been sitting throughout the day, so probably all of you are mentally exhausted already. Just another panel discussion, man. Do we have to sit through this? But having said that, the last one with Nikhil, Nehul, and Gab, that was a pretty interesting one, very insightful. I think this is a very interesting topic. Transferring from offline to online, I would be highly surprised if there isn't a business who's not online yet. The challenge is not really about being online, it is about how to be there effectively and make an impact. So, my go to points would be adding to whatever you guys have said so far, very powerful ones. Uh, Consistency is the key. So, whatever your business is offline, whatever your message is, your visuals, your brand identity, and whatever channels you choose to be online on, whether be it Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, and whatever is out there, you have to maintain the same tone. Your brand identity needs to be the same. So consistency being the first one. And secondly, you got to have a deep understanding of the online space, how it works, how these different elements like SEO, paid campaigns, content, how do they interact with each other. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents.
So you're talking about that brand identity. So that means you have to change your logo.
No, the logo doesn't have to change. You can probably tweak your logo to appeal more to your online audience, but not necessarily. But I guess there are instances where companies have decided to come up with a new logo as a part of changing their brand identity.
Even recently in Al Sharawi group, we did this thing. We didn't change the logo, but we added a color in the logo just to show that all the groups have same logo. So each company have same logo but different colors. So it's the identity of Al Sharawi group showing that okay, all these companies are related to Al Sharawi group.
I guess even in Meta itself, when Meta came up with the new logo, that is a very good example. I would say that you're saying that you're part of a much bigger group.
So you are being an e-commerce desert card. So how it is different for the brands and e-commerce? Because when we are saying our stakeholder, ki, let's move to the online, they are daily getting to creating an e-commerce site and sell their product online. So,
That is a very good question. So, I would again refer back to one of the gentlemen over here. It was from the audience. And he was saying that you have to choose your niche. Because if you are just going to sell everything which everyone else is selling, so it's going to be very difficult for you to be remembered. So you have to stand out to be remembered first of all. So the brand recall, as we call it. In terms of the ultimate objective is the same for every business, whether you're offline or online. Online just gives you a much bigger platform to be in front of a broader audience at almost, I would say, same cost of marketing offline or even less than that. So I would say it is different, but it is advantageous if you're online.
so you're talking about the budget. It's been higher cost of that budget if you're talking about, because you have to create a different team and complete setup to develop that online channel.
But that's the need of the hour, right? So marketing itself is a totally different department. That's the reason why there are agencies who are specialized in doing that sort of a thing. So either you can have an in-house team who does that, or you can outsource it.
Okay, I agree, but that's create a fear uh, within the branch, and that's why major of that brand who's trying to go offline to online and they fail. And there are 70% of that brands, top brands I'm talking about, because McKinsey is sharing this case study and research data that 70% of that brand fail to move online. Why?
I think that would depend upon what strategy they took, really. The various factors why they would fail. When you say fail, how do you define failure? Like if you say McKinsey, everybody knows it in the room probably. I'm not. I'm guessing that there's nobody here who's not heard of McKinsey. So in terms of the brand recall value, they have not failed.
I'm just referring because they shared a report that 70% to 85% brands fail when they trying to transform to the online.
So it could be referring to the strategy that they adopted did not work probably at the time. And so marketing is a continuously evolving space. And as some of the gentlemen has already highlighted over here during the last session, there is so much new technology coming in, literally like every week, that I think the businesses are also confused as to what should they be doing or which tool they should be using, and so that they're not missing out. So sometimes in that race, the focus sometimes shifts from how to connect with their customers to what tool is to be used. So that could be one of the reasons or factors, maybe, in my opinion.
Sorry, adding to this one, as I said earlier, we have to do a strategic approach whenever we are going to shift from offline to online. And for strategic approach, we have to do our data-driven decision. For me, as a marketer, if you are not measuring anything, you're not a marketer. So whenever you are going to do anything, just measure your result, data-driven decisions.
So, what are the key brand identity element that need to be transformed in your brand kit, brand guide, so that can be easily transformed? Because the major reason of failure because of their logo is being horizontal and not in circle.
I guess the logic behind logo, I know a lot of big companies give a lot of importance of how their logo is designed. I was just reading a case study about Pepsi just yesterday, and I think I saw it on some Instagram channel how they spent millions of dollars for just making a slight change in the
Yeah.
logo, and it is totally not worth it. And the agency who designed it, or rather redesigned it, they gave a lot of explanations or logistical justifications of why they charge so much. Um, I think transferring your brand identity from offline to online is a lot more than just changing your logo. And if you ask me how to successfully do it, I would just go back to my previous point, because you need to understand how the digital space works. Being successful would also depend a lot on how your customers are adapting to it. Being online gives you a great advantage of being, uh, you say, at this real-time feedback from your customers. So that is giving you a very big opportunity over there to connect with the customers real time, take their feedback, and implement the changes from the learnings that you get. And as Mia has pointed out, you need to make data-driven decisions. If you're ignoring the data, then obviously you are making wrong decisions in marketing and otherwise as a business.
So you're talking a lot about the data. So what are the best approach to plan your move? And what kind of data you are collecting offline and online, how to collect, how to analyze, how to figure out what kind of things I have to make changes in my brand identity or my strategies along with.
In terms of analyzing the data, so that is where these tools come in. We were just discussing how the AI tools are shaping this industry. So for example, if I had to study user behavior on my website, I would use a tool like Hotjar to see where my customers are engaging and where they're dropping off. And if I have enough data to understand what is happening on the website, which is making a user make a purchase or go off my website, then I can make changes according to that. Another analytic tool, very, very widely known, Google Analytics, for example, uh, doesn't offer as granular detail as you would like, but it does give you an idea of what is the kind of audience that is interacting with your website. And I would let Mia build on this one.
Even if you are a customer is coming offline to your store, what data you are collecting from them?
The basic thing, because we have that email, phone number,
Yes, and
and
if
purchase history, because you are selling that product
the,
on your
the
offline
buying
side, you are,
behavior,
yeah,
what he is buying.
yeah.
And same online, if you are going online, you have to see, you need only three things to retarget them, like their number, their name, and all these things. So you can show them your ads, you can retarget them. So you have to maintain the data, whatever customer is coming to you, you have to record their online buying behavior, which page he is going to, which product he is interested in, what is his interest. You have to see your customer interest.
So collecting data from the customer has been challenging for the peoples, because people can purchase and but they don't want to sign their numbers and email ID and name, because they are been lot of spam mails and marketing mails coming over there. So how brand need to deal with that kind of problems?
I think there are always like SOPs there in place, and that would come under compliance. So obviously, the company needs to respect those guidelines which are given, and I will just leave it at that. If there are companies which are not following that, then it's just totally wrong. They are not going to get any more customers like that, but we'll end up having a lot of spam complaints. Eventually, if a company doesn't follow that, then they do get banned from email marketing.
Yeah. So when we are talking about the brand identity, so I have a very thin line between you created experience, you are a brand. So how you can transfer the same kind of experience from offline to online? Because it's been challenging, because it's been you've been more on the technology side to develop your website, your experience, your call to action, your UI, UX, and CX as well. So evolving terms in the design of that online. So how you have to deal with it?
I would say in terms of experience, being online gives the chance to offer more variety, offer more choices to the consumers. I would say that's an advantage to them. It depends from business to business. Now we have the AR as well as a technology, which lets you actually experience the products um, artificially. So I think that is not specifically a challenge. I would say that is an advantage to the consumer, because through these online channels they have access to a lot more products and they have a lot more choices to make. At the same time, if you can create a niche for yourself, then they know exactly who to go to if they want a particular product or a service. So Mia, what's your thought on that one?
Yeah, even if a customer is coming offline to you, what he wants from you, a response, how you are responding to him, how well you are responding to him. Same thing online. Maybe customers are giving a reviews and nobody is replying to them. If it's a positive review or a negative review, doesn't matter. But if you are not replying to that review, he will think, yeah, okay, nobody cares about me. If I'm saying something negative or positive, if even it's a positive review, say thank you to them, say at least a thanks to them.
So only thank you cat one work, because I'm been studying a lot about that researches and been transferring the businesses online. So reward programs are also failed sometime. So what kind of things that can be more engaging to the mental block of your customer as well as stakeholders, because stakeholders are the important part, because they are the decision maker, they are the investor of your future online brand identity. So how you will able to deal and want to share some of that insight, so that can be helpful to grow the peoples to create.
So if I'm understanding the question right, you're talking about customer retention.
I'm not talking about customer retention. I'm talking about customer retention as well as that uh, asking our stakeholder to trust the process, being because they agree in first 3 months, but post 3 months they have been, yeah, just stop these things. We are not, we are invested so much time and we are not getting return, because every process, every transformation take times to give you the results.
he mean to say like stakeholder. If you are going online and they're your stakeholders, they are resisting. They said no, we don't want to go online, or we don't want to spend more budget on that. See, for me, because I was dealing in the B2B industry for a very long time, and for us, like in Al Sharab Enterprises, we have a lot of brands which we are dealing with. Some of them, they said, yes, we are ready to go with everything, whatever you said. And some of them, they resist, no, we are not ready to go with them. But when they see the results which we did for other brands, then they come back to us. Why you are not posting about us? Why there is no post about our brand in your in social media channel? And same like that, now they are asking us that, okay, we are using all the social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, everything. But now TikTok is very famous. TikTok videos are very famous. How we can start as a brand of like this is a Scania truck. How we can start with the TikTok? Because the audience on TikTok, they are not interested to see the trucks or these type of things. How we can engage with them? So we gave them a plan. Okay, if the audience or the customer who are buying trucks, they are more interested to see the solution or whatever the benefits they are getting from the truck. So why don't we make a video and educating them? Okay, how to use this truck? What are the new functions in the truck? How to use these functions? So it depends on the target audience. Which target audience is your audience?
Uh, when we are talking about brands, it's been global, but in Asia, especially China bans some of that social media platform and their internal platform they are using, like Hong Kong they are using, and India TikTok is banned. So how to deal with the geographical uh, challenges?
Before I come to this, I'd just like to touch upon the previous topic about the
Sure.
stakeholders being hesitant. I think what you're talking about is the stakeholders not being able to see value in being online, because for them, probably in your case, in the question that you're asking, is what they're thinking is whether that can bring them a positive return on the investment.
No, they have less patience. Within 3 months, they can't wait more than 3 months.
So it's setting the expectations, right? Because
Yeah.
they are thinking that, okay, if we invest our time and money into this online thing, how is this going to benefit us? So it is, I mean, if you're talking in terms of the agency has to set that expectation correctly, that, okay, if you've never been online, then the step one is to create your brand value and then get the customers to you. Because if you see, if you are able to create just one viral video in terms of content, then they will start seeing the value immediately, because they'll start getting new customers. So as long as they can see that value, they will, I don't think they will hesitate in being online. Coming back to
Yeah.
your current one, how do you tackle that geographical thing? So my go-to strategy would be, if TikTok works in China, I would definitely advertise in China on TikTok. And if TikTok, and so my marketing budget for that particular region would be TikTok heavy. Whereas if, let's say, if you tell me Snapchat works in the GCC region, Saudi Arabia more, I would shift my marketing strategy accordingly. So
So that's the things we have to keep in mind before
absolutely,
planning our action.
absolutely data driven, as Mia has said.
Yeah. So we have to analyze data carefully. On that basis of that, how brand is working in the different geography, different political challenges,
Even
different.
if you see your customer, all of your customers are not available in all social media channels. You have to see which social media channel, even geographically or even customer wise, which channel is they are available. They are using it. If your customer, like one of my customer, if he is like totally business minded person, he will not be available on TikTok watching the videos. He will be available only on the LinkedIn. So my target for them will be LinkedIn. So I have to do a 360-degree approach. Okay, for some of my customers, they are available on this channel. Other customers are available on this channel. So I have to target each and every channel.
Okay, so it's been more about do you hire a agency that has been 360-degree knowledge so that they can analyze your business well.
For hiring an agency, I will give you my example. Whenever I have to do a marketing for any brand or any company, first thing I went to them and I asked them, okay, please, I don't know about your brand. I don't know about your products. I want you to teach me each and everything about your product. So because if you are hiring an agency and you're not teaching them what product you are selling and you are expecting them that they will boost your business, it's not possible. So your role is there to teach them what you are doing. So in from the start, like from the keyword research itself, you have to sit with them, because the keyword research is the base of the online marketing. If your agency start focusing on wrong keyword, it means at the end you will be going into the hell. There is no use of starting these things. So you have to be the role on this thing whenever you start, because for my clients, I go to them and I ask them, please, from the starting, I have to sit with them. I want to sit with you. I want to understand your business. So then only I can perform well.
I would just add to that, sorry,
Yeah.
because we have a lot of agencies here as well. So just from the previous discussion, I think it was Nehul, and he specializes in the B2B tech marketing. And I am mightily impressed with that because he has chosen a niche for himself, and that works. So when businesses go to marketing agencies, they typically expect them to take care of everything, and that is where it all fails, because the marketing agencies may be good at creating one thing, but they may not be good at doing something else. So if it totally depends on what the business needs that marketing agency for. I might need a marketing agency to just create reels for me, but if I give the work of running paid campaigns to the same agency, they might totally fail. And then what happens is the agency loses their business eventually, because the business is expecting that they would do everything for them. And the business is then thinking, oh, agencies don't work for me. So it is very important to differentiate what you want to outsource to the agency, and maybe even ask them upfront. And even from the agency's point of view, they can just come forward and tell them that, you know what, we are very good at creating reels. We will create that viral reel for you. Don't expect us to get you sales. And so I'm okay with that. But if you come and tell me, oh, we can do this, and we can also do that, and we can also do that, and we can run paid campaigns for you, you will get 8 ROAS, 10 ROAS, and then you don't do it, then obviously you're not winning my trust, and you're not getting in more business from me.
Yes, most of the agencies fail because they don't know the client's business. They just started, okay, we got a business, let's do it. Let's do ads, let's do social media, everything. We will start it. But they don't try to learn the customer's business.
So the video making and reels making, do that Canva help brands to grow, or it been blocking brands to down?
I wouldn't want to be an advocate for Canva or any other
Any of that,
creation platform.
any of the stock videos.
I would say Canva, yes, it is one of the tools that marketers use, the marketing teams use. It's pretty effective. That's why it is well known. I don't think there's anybody in this room who has not heard of Canva or CapCut for that matter. For a marketing, from the marketing perspective, it is how effectively you can use those. Because if everybody is just using a standard Canva template, any marketer in this room can identify within 2 seconds if it was made on Canva or if it was something that they thought of.
Even this thing depend on your budget as well. If your client don't have budget to go for a graphic designer or like very high standard videos, then you can start with Canva. It's a basic thing. But nowadays, Canva is just a basic thing. You cannot expect a very professional type of like post or videos from these type of softwares. You need a professional person for these things.
I put that point because we are talking about the brands and brand identity. So it's been major failure that brands hire that agency. They do a lot of practice with the free tools, with graphic videos, free web content downloading from that free AI things, and generate the content for the brands. And it's been transitioning the same for every brand in the market. Either it's been different by industry, either in bit different by product, but it's been the same because agencies are keeping their budget low and they got hired and the brand fails because of that.
I have a different opinion on that. I don't think it's got anything to do with the budget. Most of the brands think that, okay, they need to put thousands of dollars behind a good marketing campaign video. To that, I would say that if I stood here, start dancing right now, and marketing 2.0 post this on the social media tomorrow, that is more likely to go viral without them having to spend a single penny. So it all depends on how engaging your content is really. right? If we start fighting right now, throwing mics on each other, that content is likely to go viral without them spending any money, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not about the budget. Yes, budget is important, obviously, but I wouldn't necessarily put too much stress into that budget thing when you're
Maybe I
trying to
will
create.
get a mail from Canva tomorrow. So we were talking about the brand marketing. So it's been uh, a lot different for the traditional marketing things and the online marketing, because in online marketing we have a very different kind of domain and mass media ranges, and the traditional marketing has been how it will be differed and how it will be challenging for a traditional marketer to upgrade themselves be upcoming changes in the brand.
If you're not already upgrading yourself, then you are not a good marketeer, in my experience, because you, as a marketeer, you've got to keep yourself updated, and also because this space is ever so evolving. If you are still in the offline era, then I'm sorry, my friend, you're dead already.
Okay, and uh, I would like to have some kind of case study open to any of that. So it's been there are Nike. We have seen that they have transformed that online and they are setting the benchmark, transforming offline to online. So have you? Can you share some of that your case study with the brand and their challenges, how they transform? If you have some of the insight and open to that form.
I guess what Sunny is referring to is if you want to share some case studies personally that you observed for any of the big brands, if you'd like to share that story of maybe a case study of how a brand successfully transformed from offline to online. And I think Sunny does have, you did actually tell me earlier one, the case of Zara.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to
Zara,
start.
Nike, they have successfully transformed everything because online and offline they created experience. They are transforming because they have lot of things running around. I don't like the McDonald journey because it's been more on the localization part. But the Zara has been booming like a luxury global brand, and their experience offline and online both are immersive.
I have an example of even the same company where I worked, Al Sharawi. Before COVID, they were focusing only on their name. They said, we don't need a marketing. Our name is big enough in the market, UAE market. Everybody knows about Al Sharawi. We don't want to focus or spend budget on online marketing. And after the COVID, when they saw their competitors, they are doing very well in the market, they said, how we can beat them? We want to do online and how we can beat them. I said, they are spending a lot of money, they are doing this from very long time, and you are just starting now, or you want to beat them within 1 month or within 2 months. It's not possible. We have to make a strategy. That's what I said. We have to make a strategy whenever we are going to shift online. If you don't have a strategy and you just said, okay, let's do it online, you are not on the right path.
So being an online sometimes been challenging because of the language we are putting on the website, because uh, some of that cookies block Arabic, some of the cookies block Chinese words, and so how we can do we need to create a different channel for each of the geographical regions?
I think you're talking about the technical side of things. So the cookies being blocked or not, that is a very personal choice. Every user is given that choice when they're visiting a website. And so as a brand, you just need to respect that not everybody is interested in seeing you again and again. And so just leave them as it is. In terms of how you appeal to your audience, I will just go back to, you're talking about Nike or Zara for that matter. You said that Zara, okay, that is luxurious clothing in your own perception. So what they're doing is they're not marketing their brand, they're marketing the emotion. When you think
Yes,
about Nike, what are they doing? You just do it. When you put on Nike, what do you think? You want
they
to be an athlete.
personalize the message for each one to touch their
So if
hearts.
you market your emotion, your
That's the brand
customers are more
identity they
likely to be
have created,
connected.
brand messaging. So anything more if you want to add,
Any
guys?
question?
Yes, we have actually
Yes,
three
a lot of hands
questions
are
here.
Yeah.
You see how much excitement. But I have actually two questions, two part of one question. The first part to you, Mian. So basically, there is a social e-commerce trend, right? And a lot of users are buying from like social media straight away. And basically, we don't need the platforms that Vivek runs in this case. How do you see it in like 1 year, 3 year, 5 years exposure is a global trend to which experience it will bring us? And then Vivek, on the contrary, do you think that e-commerce have to adapt the social media not as a channels but to be part of it? It should be your ecosystem and infrastructure, otherwise you will lose all the customers to the big players in the digital media market. Would be great.
Very good question. Regarding this e-commerce store, he is our expert in e-commerce. He have a brand, Desert, Desert
Cart.
Cart. He is also doing a Desert Cart e-commerce store. And before this conversation, I was standing outside with him and I said, Vivek, I want to start my own e-commerce store. Can you give me some suggestion? Why I said that I want to do e-commerce? Because it's a trend now that people are moving and they are buying online. Mostly people, they are buying online. So that's, yes, you have to do this thing, and it will be, after some time, it will be more like people are more going online to buy things as compared to offline, because offline they have to spend time, they have to go, or maybe they don't have time to go outside, so they focus more on buying online. Even if you see some things, if you buy from the store, it's the price is different as compared to if you buy from online. Why? The companies, they know that they don't have to pay for the stores, they don't have to pay for the employees, and it is expensive if you go outside, and if you go online it will be like very beneficial for you as well.
Right. Thanks for the question, Dari. A very interesting one. Do the e-com companies need to make social media part of the infrastructure? Yes, very much. Why? Because one, there is too much of competition. We need to be seen. Secondly, the social media as a platform gives you access to your audience worldwide. And that is the whole point of being in an online commerce company, is that you are not limited by geographical location of your customers, but you can reach out and service to every customer in every part of the world. Um, in terms of the brand recall, yes, again, social media helps, but I personally have a different approach to it. If you're again trying to do everything that all other brands are doing, you will not be memorable. Customers will not remember you, and they will not buy from you. Customers only buy from the companies that they can connect with. Also, uh, social media is not just a platform to showcase your products. It is also a platform to interact with your customers, get their feedback, and give them that digital customer service, which is a new thing. From an offline business, it is always like customers are coming and yelling at you, and then you're trying to apologize to them. But this is the major change which has happened with the online thing. Is a digital customer service. There are these chatbots, messages that you get on your platforms where you can interact with customers, and they also, they can voice their concerns. If I have a complaint about a company, I'll first find the Twitter handle and make as much noise as I can. And then you will see that the company responds within 24 hours, if not less. So social media is really, really much more powerful beyond just sharing videos out there.
So earlier, so my name is Cranston, and earlier you talked about having a bit of a case study for a business or a brand that moved from offline to online. So one of the brands I had owned was a business called Lawrence of Lusaka, and what we were doing is selling motorbikes. We used to sell motorbikes into Central Southern Africa out of the Australian market. So before COVID, we would have to ship containers of motorbikes, put it into this whole warehouse setting. And then when the customer is driving by, because a luxury motorbike is a luxury good, right? So it's not something you need tomorrow morning. But if you've got disposable income, you want to buy something fancy, plus it looks cool with the girls. So that was what we were targeting in the beginning. COVID hit, and just before everything was all locked down, we were the #1 supplier of superbikes into that region of Africa. The brand was a South Korean motorbike, so it was sturdy. It was super cheap. It had a close to Chinese name, so people would not trust it as a BMW or something like that. So we had the advantage of pricing it cheaply based on that as well. However, when the lockdowns happened, we couldn't ship as many. So the demand was growing, but we could not take them there. So by accident, we moved on to Facebook hard. We didn't even have a website. We went full on Facebook because you can do multi formats of images and video. And then we created Facebook groups because it was really hot at the time. So whoever was interested in our product, they come into the group and then we interact with them in the group. And when they make the order, we then ship it. So shipping to order at that point, it's not drop shipping literally motorbikes from a Facebook group. That exponentially grew the business. One time I was sitting with my business partner and the realization was what we're selling are not luxury motorbikes. We're selling expensive photographs. Someone sees an image, immediately wants it. They see themselves, they embody themselves in that image. And whatever price tag we put there, they're buying without physically seeing it. So really, they were buying an expensive photograph. 50% of it, which was the down payment, would pay for the bike. And then we do the free delivery to your doorstep, and then you pay the balance. Because, I mean, this is lockdown, so we don't expect you to move around and so on. So it so happened that the brand became so successful post-lockdown simply because we went fully online. We got to a point where we had no physical asset. We did not generally have a bike to sell, but we had photos of bikes that people were buying, and then we bought the bike and then sold it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That just shows the power of social media that I was talking about.
I think that's like what people on Amazon are doing, right?
Even I have an example that earlier I had one car, Infinity QX80. I tried to sell in UAE 2 months, no customer came. I like put it on Dubizel, on different sites, even on Facebook Marketplace. And one South African guy, he called me, he came here, he bought from me. He said, "Do you have some more cars?" Infinity, because this is the place where my customers are. If I'm not targeting only UAE, even I was not imagining that somebody will come out of the UAE and buy this car from me. 2 months, this car is not sold. It was hectic for me that, okay, my money is stuck. But suddenly the person came from South Africa to buy this car and he said, I want more Infinity. Can you give me more Infinities? So this is the perfect example of using Facebook as a marketplace.
Very true. A couple of thoughts more on social media, because I mean, I firmly believe that in today's age, if you do not exist on social media, you do not exist. I mean, if you want to be a businessman, not in like, you're a human being, you do exist. But if you want to be known and become visible, you have to be on social media. And thinking of like in terms of competition that we have, I also firmly believe that there is enough for everybody in this world. I mean, we all are like marketers in this room. We are not each other's competition. We all are, there as a support system, right? And if I won't talk about, the perspective of which companies succeeded, after coming online, we have been discussing over the last 2 days. There are so many companies like Blockbuster, right? We discussed. There was Konica that did not adapt, right? Kodak did not adapt. I just did a Google. There are so many of them. They are showing that they did not, adapt to the whole move to the online world or newer technologies, and they failed.
But Deloitte adapt all the technologies and still they fail.
Are you saying Deloitte is a failure?
Yeah, Deloitte is failure because of that they lost in the crowd. So you have to choose your crowd better, like the gentleman said, create a community with like-minded peoples instead of just being entering in the crowd blindly.
That's a fair point. You have to do your research.
I agree 100%.
Okay, so to add to that perspective and to shift to it, I want to speak about digitizing your reputation as a leader to bulletproof your career. This is very important in this day and age, and I'm going to give you my case study and my case studies of some of my clients. So the first thing that we basically had to do is position yourself as a leader with all the noise that's going on online. So for me, it was important to align myself with a mission, right? I'm from a small island. You understand? And trying to establish a space online meant that I had to come with something strong that I believed in, which was owning your next level of success, no matter where you're from, right? The second thing I had to do again was understand what it is I could leverage. For me, I realized that a lot of the online gurus were talking about leaving your day job and getting into entrepreneurship. What happened to those of us who actually love our jobs, right? But also secretly want a backup plan? Because here's the thing, none of us jobs right now are secure, whether you want to admit it or not. So I was like, okay, so that's how I'm going to position myself as a marketing leader who's excelling, but I could do it in a way that could add value to the people that I lead, the organization I lead, but I'm secretly creating my legacy. But my why was important. Why? Because a couple of years ago, I launched a successful campaign within the Caribbean region. It was a project that the NBA was working on, and I received noteworthy accolades from them. There I was thinking that I was gonna get a promotion, and I walked into the office, and me and about 20 of us were made redundant. At that time, I had no backup plan. So I used that as a why because I know that other aspiring professionals and mothers could resonate with that. Then I had to have a strong messaging. And if you notice, I use the same steps that I've learned in brand building and marketing. So my brand positioning statement was build an influential and profitable personal brand, period. Now, the thing is, when it comes to profitability, as corporate executives, we figure out, we're not business owners. How does profitability resonate? But profitability resonates as it pertains to the network you build and the relationships you build. So this came under the positioning, right? That pillar. Then I went into packaging. How do I package my identity, right? I knew that I absolutely knew how to brand, how to market because I had the experience of doing it with global brands like HBO, etc., because I worked in the telecommunications industry. But I also knew that from my experience, it's true it was a global perspective and global campaigns, but I had to give it a localized, more authentic, feel. So for me, I knew that as part of my identity, I needed to go after persons who are exceptional at what they do, but they're new to personal branding online. So they need, you could look up to them. Then my brand voice, what's my personality? Naturally, I come across as warm, approachable, bright. That comes across in everything. And you spoke to consistency. That has to come across in the way you speak, the way you dress. If you go to my online profile, that same vibe will come across. Authenticity is simple. Stick to what comes natural to you and what would attract your audience. Images, it has to be compelling. What sort of images do you put online? Images that your target audience would like to aspire to. Me at conferences, me at a mom balancing corporate life, me behind the scenes, you understand? Working as a mom, working in corporate, and then still trying to do all of that. And then my final pillar was building a profitable network. I had to upgrade my LinkedIn profile. But here's the mistake I made. Initially, I created a Facebook group, which was a good strategy to launch initially because I wanted to bring in revenue, right? So I created an ecosystem. But as I got wiser, I realized that no, your target audience is on LinkedIn, so you need to reposition yourself there. So I created a profile that, turned into my marketing build-up board. I built a network, and then I got into speaking, engagements, events to network, and so on. So my point is, some of the same strategies that you use for corporate brands, as leaders in this age to bulletproof your success, digitize your reputation while impacting so many other leaders who don't understand how to do it or don't have the skills that you have. Thank you.
Absolutely. Everyone, put your hands together in a massive round of applause. Someone hide the mic. We have no time left at all. Thank you so much. And in the spirit of how exactly as the Charmelin said, a lot of you do have your target audience on LinkedIn. So in the spirit of that, please Definitely follow all of our panelists on LinkedIn, connect with them. You can learn so much from each other and vice versa. Put your hands together for these wonderful gentlemen.